Hello and welcome to our report card for the Zen Gold Label. If you haven't seen one of these before, basically what I do is go back and revisit a ball that's been out for a few months to check in, see how popular it's been, see if I got it right in the review, and report on how much we've used it and what it's best at. Also, since it is a report card, I will actually be giving out grades using my trusty Kool-Aid meter.
Oh yeah!
The staffers always robe up and pass the cups out for every new release, but are they still drinking it a few months down the road? Now this is a report card, not a secondary review, so I'm going to cut to the chase for a change. I've got way too much to do to try to keep stretching everything out so I can make the algorithm happy. Ain't nobody got time for that. My original review goes in-depth on all the details. It's linked at the end of this one. Some details are still necessary and important though. I'm just not going to go so overboard on explaining them. I have Storm's layout system videos linked in the description, and they explain layouts and core dynamics much better than I can in a paragraph, so I strongly encourage you to check them out and watch them over and over again until they make sense so that you can understand all the ball review gibberish better. It was just me in the original review, so I got footage both on Kegel Chromium and the house shot. Chromium is on lane 22, and it's a good benchmark pattern that isn't as easy as a house shot, but isn't as tough as a sport pattern, so it really helps us figure out where the balls fit and how they relate and compare to each other. The graph is linked in the description if you want to take a look at the pattern details. The house shot on lane 20 is similar to Kegel's Easy Street, just with a little more volume, and it's mostly for reference. A little more hook on the house shot, but the ball reaction looks pretty similar on both patterns. My layout information is up on the screen, pretty standard pinup layout. I did also take the surface down to 1000 grit before polishing lightly with Storm's Step 2 compound, which is now discontinued. Brunswick's Crown compound or Storm's new Rough Edge compound are similar if you're looking for a replacement. Factory gloss of any kind typically creates ball reaction that's too sensitive. Box surfaces are mostly to look pretty on the wall in the pro shop. They're not mirror shining stuff with performance in mind, so by resetting it, I'm still getting the length and shape, just with a little more stability and consistency out of the ball reaction. Don't hesitate to adjust and experiment with surface. It's the easiest and simplest thing you can do to fine-tune the ball reaction. The Gold Label is a strong symmetric pearl ball with a medium to medium high strength cover, 249 RG and an 051 differential and 15 pounds, so it's your prototypical strong symmetric core, and I still maintain that the cover stock is actually Storm's REX cover that we've seen on the Virtual Energy Blackout, Fate, etc. Acts just like it, ages just like it, pretty sure that's what it is, and those are a couple of the best benchmarks for comparison. Now, unlike other Zen releases, it has a very rolly, round, continuous shape, and probably the best way to describe it is that it's just a juiced-up IQ Ruby. Shapes are absolutely identical, the Gold Label is just a handful of boards stronger, and it handles angle quite a bit better. To interject with a shameless promotion, I'm wearing CoolWick's Space Cat jersey and the matching Space Cat slacks, and my code ROSEDALL10 will get you 10% off your purchase at checkout on the website. I have links to both items in the description. Douchey white belt, sold separately. Like the other REX Pearl balls, the cover does settle down a bit from box and gets pretty buttery, and that's not a bad thing whatsoever. I think REX is kind of the new R2S. It's clean and firm, really stable, versatile, it plays on a bunch of patterns, it's strong enough to handle some volume, especially with a little surface, and weak enough to fit well for league. Now on the house shot, for me, it was a little too much ball, and that was my general experience in league. The Fate was quite a bit smoother, but this one being a few boards stronger tended to just put me in the wrong zone on the lane. I loved the reaction and tried repeatedly to make it work, but I couldn't get the angles right or get the reaction in the right place. That's a pretty common issue on the left side of the lane though. For context, the perfect league ball for me is the Summit, which is, of course, quite a bit earlier and smoother than the Gold Label, so this is less a case of a bad ball and more a case of a great ball that I just unfortunately can't make use of, even trying different surfaces. The cover wants to be a little too clean, and the amount of surface it takes to blend it out also makes it too strong, and that also puts me out of the zone on the lane that I need to be in. Once the cover settles down, it gets a little too core dominant though. The Fate was perfect because the core was a little weaker, and that let me square up or play straighter with it, while the Virtual Energy Blackout, by contrast, is asymmetric and has the torque to get it to move down lane. The core rolled strong enough to push me inside, but then it was too slow getting back up the hill. But instead of just saying, well, this ball sucks, I was disappointed it didn't work out for me because I really do like the way it rolls. This shape fits my eye extremely well, and if our house shot was chromium instead and didn't have the bumper or the dry boards near the gutter, I might still be using it. I realized it's kind of dumb to call these report cards and then give it a rating number, so the ZGL gets a B+, And this isn't based on just my personal experience. I'm grading it based on its overall performance, versatility, how it stacks up against other available equipment, etc. I haven't seen a lot of people using it. SPI has 1 million strong shiny symmetric balls now, and with the options available from other companies, I don't see the ZGL being around for much longer. That's unfortunate, and I think if you can get a good deal on one, take it, or even if you just like the look, I'd still recommend it. It's a stronger IQ Ruby, so if that sounds good and if that's how you approach it and treat it, you won't be disappointed. Down in the description is a link to Bowler's Mart that will get any of the balls featured in this video ordered for you. I do have to note that I do receive a 5% commission on all sales through the links, and of course don't forget my code ROSEDOLL10 to get 10% off your order at checkout at CoolWick. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.